This story is a story of Peter who sleeps with married women and unfortunately meets with the river goddess. A long time ago, in a village blessed by a sacred river called Oma, the people believed that the river goddess gave blessings to those who came with a pure heart. The villagers fetched water from it, prayed by its banks, and gave offerings to show respect. Those who followed the ways of the gods received good fortune, but those who disrespected them faced punishment. In this village lived a young man named Peter. He was strong, handsome, and charming, but he had a bad habit. He loved sleeping with married women. Many times, the village elders warned him, telling him that such behavior would bring trouble. But Peter only laughed and said, "Nothing will happen to me. I am too strong for any spirit or curse." Unknown to him, the river goddess had been watching. And soon, Peter would learn a lesson he would never forget. One evening, Peter went to Oma to fetch water. As he bent down to fill his calabash, he saw a woman standing by the river. She was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen, with smooth dark skin, bright eyes, and a golden wrapper tied around her waist. She smiled at him, and something about her made him forget everything else. Peter walked up to her and said, "You are too beautiful to be here alone. Where is your husband?" The woman only smiled and said, "Does it matter? I am here, and that is enough." Peter, feeling excited, took her hand and led her to his house, unaware that he had invited something beyond human into his home. That night, as Peter lay in his hut with the beautiful woman, something strange happened. The air became damp, and he could smell the river inside his room. Then, suddenly, 3 other women appeared from the shadows. They were just as beautiful, wearing golden wrappers and smiling at him. One of them said, "Peter, we have all come for you. Will you take all of us?" Peter was shocked but also excited. He had never been with so many women at once. He wanted to ask them where they were from, but his pride made him boast instead. He flexed his muscles and said, "Of course. I am a strong man. I can handle all of you." But the moment he stepped forward to show his strength, everything changed. The women let out a chilling laugh, and their eyes began to glow. Then, before Peter's eyes, they started to change. Their legs melted away, and their bodies stretched and twisted. Within seconds, all 4 women had turned into giant snakes, their long bodies slithering across the floor, their tongues flicking in and out. Peter's heart pounded in fear. He tried to run, but his legs refused to move. The snakes hissed, surrounding him, their golden scales shining in the dim light. Peter gasped for breath, his body frozen in terror. Then, the first woman, the river goddess, spoke. "Peter, do you know who I am now?" Her voice was no longer soft and sweet. It was deep and powerful, echoing like thunder. "You have disrespected the sacred bonds of marriage, taking what is not yours. You have ignored all warnings. Now, you will pay for your actions." Peter opened his mouth to beg, but suddenly, he felt something rising in his throat. Water. Cold, rushing water poured out of his mouth and nose, choking him. He fell to his knees, struggling to breathe, but the water did not stop. The last thing he saw before darkness took him was the 4 snake women watching him, their eyes glowing like fire. At dawn, the villagers gathered outside Peter's house. They had heard strange noises in the night and wanted to check on him. When they opened his door, they found his room empty, except for a large pool of water shimmering in the morning sun. "The river has taken him," an old woman whispered. The village chief nodded and said, "Let this be a lesson. The gods are watching. Those who disrespect them will face their wrath." From that day on, no man in the village dared to sleep with another man's wife. The story of Peter was told for generations, and Oma continued to flow, blessing the pure and punishing the wicked.